Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to talk about Dario the Crystalborn, our new 100 cost tank coming to the wind element this Wednesday. Now, he is a part of that Crystalborn series, but I don't think this is a unit we're going to be able to just straight up buy for 70 bucks, or not 70, excuse me, 47 bucks. He's not a 70 cost unit like Lynx was, like Ketone was. Ketone. This is instead a 100 cost unit. So I imagine we're going to have to pull him the regular way. He looks really good. This is a character I'm definitely pulling on my alt account as I'm finishing up my 5-man water team and pivoting to wind as my next element. He is going to be the tank that anchors that wind team together, and once I finish that second team, I can move into a little legendary reliquaries action and start picking up some of that gear. Anyway, we're going to talk about why I think he's going to be so good in today's video and just give this man the preview that he deserves. So let's jump into it. Here he is, Rolling Crystal Blade Dario, as the translation on the JP site says. Let's start with his TMR, Twilight Long Sleeve. Now, I think this is a very interesting TMR that is also just not very good for him. So it's an armor, which that kind of sucks, but 520 HP and 14 spirit with 6 defense is not the worst stats I've ever seen on a TMR piece of armor. The buff has really cool, interesting things about it, but only has one cast, which I think holds it back a little bit. Anyway, it's going to give you Shell, which would be really good for Dario, but then it increases your chance to apply silence by 25% for 3 turns. Spoiler alert about Dario, he does not apply silence. So that's okay. They gave the TMR the ability to apply silence to a unit who doesn't apply silence. Now, it could be that this is a translation error and maybe this thing actually gives you 25% silence resist. Maybe that's what they mean here, because this man is all about resisting status effects. But even if it is a 25% chance to apply silence, I think that's really neat. Throw that on a unit who silences people and you are dramatically boosting that chance. So I think it's a really cool TMR. Just I don't know that Dario himself is going to wear it. It doesn't have agility. It's not an accessory. So there are some things holding it back. Anyway, what else about this guy? Subjobs Red Mage and Grimoire Keeper are solid. I especially like the Red Mage subjob. He is in the Katana weapon group, which has gotten some love lately. His master ability is going to be your wind group element buff. He does get reduced magic damage taken by just 10% straight away. So I love that, leading into his magic tanking ability. He picks up 5 AoE resist, which isn't a ton. Wouldn't have mind seeing 10 here, especially for a brand new 100 cost unit, but he does pick up some AoE resistance and we'll take every bit of that we can get. He gets HP and elemental chain resist from his dream ability, so every bit of his master ability is about not dying. He's all about becoming tankier, and then he does get an upgrade to his triple drain skill, which we'll look at here in a second. Okay, stats. Now, I want to point out a couple things about this man's stats. Let's start with his damage resist. He is good against everything but missile, and he's only kind of bad against missile. He gets a -5 there. He's basically nothing to pierce, just 5%. There is some piercing in the game right now, but 20% slash, 25% magic resist is great. 15% strike resist. You still see a ton of strike in the game right now. Awesome resist stats, and he's a tank, so he needs that. Now, his normal stats with no dream and with dream, he's a 63 agility unit. That's not fast, but he's a tank. Typically tanks aren't fast, so that's par for the tank course. His HP at 6134 with no dream enhancement goes up to 9434 if you're going to go ahead and put those scrolls and all those mats into him. Either way, it's a solid HP pool. He's a unit that scales off of magic and 513 base magic with dream upgrades, or 423 without. Is also pretty solid. He's obviously going to be good against earth and weak to ice, so I think there's a lot to like there. Okay, his skills, his support abilities, good. He's locking those down. These look really nice, especially given Destiny. So King's Destiny upgraded. It's 12 spirit, 12 single target resist. So now you can see he's already, just through his master ability and 1 support ability, beginning to stack up that AoE resist, stack up that single target resist. Then he gets debuffed effect weakening 30, and he gets 5 aggro. So that's really good. Having 5 passive aggro walking into a fight on your tank is necessary. You just need to have it. He's got it. Excellent. Now, if you look at his other new one, Magic Control Speed Technique, this gives him move 1 and agility 12%. I like this a lot. I especially like that this gives him an opportunity to maybe rush at the enemy. I know in Arena this week, playing against all these strike units, it's been really useful if I can get my very strike resistant tank to just charge deep into, like, I want Roth penetrating that back line. So I turn off her long range moves, I give her a TMR that boofs move and jump, and then she's just full on charging in there, which helps prevent the enemy from doing those like multi-hit single target attacks to my whole squad and killing my Irvine, which I've been playing with for some reason, and my, bonus unit, the new Catone. So I like this as an option for him. If you don't want to use that, right, you can go for more damage right here if you're using him for PvE. There are uses for that there. You do have a defense and spirit penetration option with Abyss of the Books. This isn't terrible for him if you want him to do a little bit of damage in PvP. I love the spirit magic resist option. If you want to go all in on magic tanking, 12 more spirit and 15 more magic resist will help you get there, and then Grimoire Master Secrets will give you HP and magic. So you can really mix and match any of these. I think for the most part, you're probably going to run Given Destiny all the time, and then move 1 in agility 12% most of the time, unless you are really dialed in on either defense or spirit and magic resist, or you're in PvE. Okay, his counter moves. Here, it's kind of, this is the weaker part of his kit, in my opinion. He does have Magic's End, which is a 20% chance to magic reflex, so that's good if you're fighting only mages. His new move is just a 20% chance to self-heal for 20%. All right, I mean, his self-heal on a tank is kind of nice, and then you're never going to use Hide and Resist because it drops aggro, and he's a tank. So, okay, you're going to use one of those first two. Nothing there that's really overwhelmingly great. His main job, his cheap move, which is a short range move. And again, short range moves on tanks, you need good ones, because oftentimes you don't want your tank standing back by your ranged units or your mages and dropping long range bombs. You want them getting up there engaging. His short range cheap move is a decrease healing power 70 for 3 turns. That's awesome. That's for 17 AP. That's a lot of value right there. 121% modifier. And you can see he scales off of magic, dex, agility, and luck. Okay, Soul of the Abandoned Stone. This gives him auto revive, right, for himself, so he gets re-raise, and he gets a new counter skill for 3 turns. Let's go check out that counter skill. So first of all, re-raise, you're going to want that. And the counter skill, Pride of the Horn, for 3 turns. He has a lot of unlocked skills. This is a chance to counter physical damage 50% and reduce the damage taken by 30. This is the thing that's going to help him be more than just like a magic specific tank. He's got a ton of stuff in his kit to be really good against mages or, units that scale off of magic. This Pride of the Horn buff gives him a nice 50% chance to react and reduce physical damage by 30%, helping him survive some teams with mixed damage types, or if you're not being able to find any mages to fight, so survive those physical units as well. So I think this buff is going to be necessary for him to run unless you're just straight up only fighting mages. Now, if you are straight up only fighting mages, let's talk about his next move, Crystal Shelter, which upgrades to Crystal Benedict. This does a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. First of all, he gets a 7,500 HP magic shield. Love that. Then he gets reduced physical damage, larger the area attack size from 15 to 35. Reduced magic damage, larger the attack size from 15 to 35. He gets Seal's barrier destruction on hits for self. So if he hits somebody, they're unable to destroy barriers. That's important. He's giving himself a nice big barrier. You don't want people to be able to break that. Then he gets 4 additional skills: magic damage reduction, poison resist, sleep resist, slow resist. Let's go look at these things. They're all down here. Here's what they are. It's a 15 to 40% based on range away from you magic damage reduction for him and his allies. So he's providing everybody in here damage reduction. That's solid. 40% magic reduction to everybody in this cone. You're going to like that. Then 50% resist to poison, sleep, and slow for that same AoE. Now, I think I read this wrong. I believe this is just a 40% reduction for any ally in this circle. I don't think it said it was distance based, did it? Nope. Yep, it's just magic damage reduction to anybody in that area. So this is the bread and butter buff for this unit. You're going to be making your units very resistant to 3 status effects that sucks to get, and then that 40% magic damage cut. Oh my god, that's good. So you're gonna, every part of that is just awesome. All right, so cast that buff every fight. Now, Magical Piercer, there's a lot to love about this. First of all, it gives him access to piercing instead of just slashing in his main job. It's a 200% mod, it's going to hit hard, and it decreases bravery for the targets. Now, that's not the biggest deal in the world, but knocking bravery off targets will lower their damage. But you run all units at 97 bravery, so knocking him down to 67 is a debuff. You'll take that. Triple Drain, this is his bread and butter attack move, gets upgraded to Upgraded Triple Drain. What a name change. Anyhow, it's a 165% modifier. With the upgrade, it is a guaranteed hit. It absorbs 30% of the damage dealt. It hits in a small AoE and is once again short range. So he's going to really brawl well with other brawlers right here who want to get up in people's faces, and he gives all those barriers to. It's a 3-hit move, AoE, and it automatically casts the skill King's Duty for self and gives him 40 spirit for 1 turn. There's just a lot loaded in there. Very 100 cost move. King's Duty is a heal, restore HP 25% for an ally, and again, that same diamond-shaped AoE, and it gives him 4 more aggro. So, yep, use that move all the time. All the time. You want the AI just spamming the heck out of that. Okay, then you get dual release. Now, this is not an AoE move. It is a multi-single target move. Range is medium at 3. 2 targets dispels Protection Shell. So he brings Protection Shell Dispel, 165 mod, and decreases AP by 20 for the targets. So just a whole lot to love. This is a great tank. He's going to do you a lot of tanking goodness with that kit. If you want to run his main job sub-job, you do have a disabling attack right here. It is a 165 modifier with a 25% chance to disable. It is a 2-hit attack, hits in a small, little line-based 2 AoE right there. It's a move worth using. It's piercing instead of slashing. Disable is an absolutely just awful status effect to get. Okay, now if you want to run a second group buff for him, this is an interesting option. It is Wind, Earth, and Light resist 25 in a square around him for allies. Hey, 25% light resist if you're fighting like light Helena teams with your new magic tank right here. You're also giving that aura to your squad. He's going to turn like units that want to go bruiser with him and get in the face of these mages. They're going to be really hard to kill with him covering him, especially if they have this buff and his other buff applied. Okay, the red mage subjob. What does this give him? The most important thing here is going to be resist break. So he gets access to another piercing type move, and he gets access to dispel auto revive. Yes, it also drops spirit by 38, and that's nice, but the dispel re-raise basically is just an awesome thing for your tank to have access to, that kind of utility that they bring. Here, I don't know why you'd run Grimoire Keeper, honestly. Yep, I don't know. It doesn't seem very good for him. I think you're going to run Red Mage instead. We already talked about the unlock skills, and then let's talk about his limit break. So, slash attack resist pin 50 for himself. It is a single target, short-ish, medium to short range move at only 3. He doesn't have any other penetrations before this unless you're finding them in his support abilities, and you're probably looking more towards tanking stats than damage stats anyway, so it is nice for him to pick a little bit up right here. 200% modifier, but the real bang for your 43 AP buck in this case is that 67% chance to inflict Berserk for 3 turns and the critical evade 60. So Berserk is another one of those kind of devastating status effects to afflict in PvP. So him being able to charge forward, especially with that move and agility support ability that he has, walk in there, drop a critical Berserk on somebody so they're just auto attacking him the rest of the fight, especially a mage. You put a mage into auto attack mode, you have really disabled them in a big way. So that's rolling Crystal Blade Dario. Definitely pulling for him on my alt account on Friday before Friday Night Fights, I guess. So tune into that stream for all kinds of action. And once again, hey, if you're out there shopping on Amazon, please do use my Amazon affiliate link located in this video. I'm trying to push that a little bit more this month, hit some of those breakpoints they've set for me. And so anything you buy on Amazon, if you buy it through my link, it just really, really helps support me. Doesn't cost you anything, and I love y'all who do it. I love all you anyway. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.